Good evening, this is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV. It is Tuesday night. It is Tuesday night with Ben Stowe night. Well, Ben's not with me right now. That's because he's a busy man and we've got a lot of things going on, but we had the opportunity a couple of weeks ago to be on location and record a show. It was a shorter show for us because, well, we had some things going on, but we get to spend some time up at the Sanford Center up in Bemidji, Minnesota. That is the home of Ben Stowe and some other people too, I guess. I don't know. But that's the most important person for us is Ben Stowe. We were up there and shooting some things, and you'll get to see that in a video. But in particular, we were looking at some of the work that they have done up at the Sanford Center. Ben and his guys have done a lot of things up there, and they've installed sound, they've installed some lighting, they've installed communications with video, whatever. A lot of very, very cool stuff. So we were talking about that and looking at different things, and one of the areas that we've had questions about was placement of speakers. And when you're in a room, that size, I mean, it's a hockey arena for a major Division I college hockey team up there. So there's a lot of things that Ben has done in that building. And the night that I was there, actually, he was doing sound for an event on the side there. So we not only were able to see some of the things they've done in there, we're actually able to see him doing sound for a professional touring act, which is very cool to see because here's a sound guy, a tech guy, a knowledgeable guy doing his thing. So it's really kind of cool. So anyway, so tonight's show is basically going to be some of the video we shot up there, and we're just going to kind of let the video do its thing. And hope you enjoy our Tuesday night with Ben Stowe, coming to you from the Sanford Center in Bemidji, Minnesota. Good evening. This is Tuesday night with Ben Stowe. I'm John Young with the Disc Jockey News, and this is Ben Stowe with NLFX Pro. We are on location tonight. This is an incredible facility. What's the official name of this facility here, Ben?
The official name of this facility is the Sanford Center, and we're actually standing very close to the Robert H. Peters rink within the Sanford Center. This is a hockey rink. Right now you're in the rink. Now you're out of the rink, in the rink, out of the rink, over to the penalty box.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are on location tonight, and one of the questions people have been asking about is speaker placement. And of course, you do a lot of sound at this facility.
Yeah, we actually did the install here. Our company installed 302 loudspeakers. There's about 15 miles of cable for the sound system, including speaker cable and also line level cable and fiber optic to connect various amplifier racks. Obviously, in a project like this, you have the advantage of starting out at the architectural level. It exists solely in the virtual realm, only on paper and in 3D models, and we can say, well, where would we like to put our speakers? What will be the consequences of putting them there? We can go back to the architects and say, hey, we need to hang X 100 number of pounds here, and can we do it? No. Okay, we have to move it. What will that? We have the whole benefit of the whole process. DJs really don't have that. Right. You come into an existing venue, and what's the old saying? Nobody puts DJ in the corner. But what if they do? And how can you work to mitigate the consequences of that? And there's a lot of physics. You get into length of audio wave as it compares to length of the room, audience seating areas, reflective surfaces, resonant surfaces. Everything has a Sabine coefficient for how that surface is going to interact, and it gets really right up my alley.
Yep, sure. Let's talk about a timeline. You hear that thrown around. Well, give us just a real simple third grader understanding of what timeline means.
Well, this is a great place to do that, John. That's a great question. If we look 400 feet, 350 feet away, and we put a loudspeaker over there, when we hear that loudspeaker, it's going to have to travel that 350, 400 feet to get to us.
Right.
And it's a little less than a millisecond a foot, 0.89 give or take. So just for thumb sketch math, we say that's going to be 360 milliseconds or something. That's a really long time. That's a quarter of a second, and it would really throw you off if you were hearing that sound and seeing the person's lips moving from that far away. Your brain would have to kind of stitch that together. That you can live with. What's much worse, though, is if we have a speaker right here and a speaker there, and we're hearing them both. We're hearing them again at 360 milliseconds delayed from each other. That's really tough to deal with. So what we want to do is delay this speaker by 360 milliseconds, for example, to bring that speaker time aligned with this loudspeaker. In the practical realm, we probably wouldn't be time aligning from that distance.
Certainly.
We would hope that we just wouldn't be hearing that one anymore, and that the sound would decay to a point where we would be hearing this one and not that one.
Sure.
But that's the short answer on time alignment, is slowing down the first speaker, because we can't jump into the future. We can't make this one go faster.
Yes.
Or that one go faster, rather. We would just make this one wait, and so the time arrives to the listener at the same time.
And some of the newer speakers that are out there have that built in, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're 100% right, and that's a great feature where maybe I'm in a ballroom and I just need to extend sound, and the people that are in this wedding, in this ballroom, can hear the sound from both of my speakers. I can just put this powered speaker up on the stand, dial in the delay that I want that speaker to wait from speaker coming from the main array. In the install world, we call it a delay ring or whatever. But anyways, because there's usually a ring of them to cover a room. And that would solve the problem right out of the box for you. No external DSP needed.
Wow, very cool, very cool. So obviously in a room like this, not as DJs, we don't play a room like this too terribly often, but you've done events in the other room, which is a large ballroom, I would say, a very large ballroom.
Yeah.
And do you have to deal with some unusual issues of the larger room compared to maybe smaller? Or?
Well, every room has its own characteristics. You have to worry about what happens. When the sound hits a surface, does it get absorbed? Does it reflect? Does it reflect off a back wall, for example, and collide with the sound coming from the front and cause a real problem in the back rows? That is an issue that I deal with, very real here in this ballroom. Speaker placement's really a complicated thing, and I could talk for hours and hours.
I think we're going to need to get the whiteboard out for this.
I've got something better. I think we need to go to the definitive expert on the guy who knows how to do everything. And I hope you're sitting down for this. It's not me. I really don't know everything, but there's a guy who does.
Okay.
And fortunately, he's a friend of mine. And here's a plug for Red Green, the man who wrote the book. He didn't just know how to do everything. He wrote the book on how to do everything. Let's ask him.
Sounds great.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. This is got a couple little tips for you people who are intimidated by technology and what have you, particularly when you're in a concert situation, and they have a lot of fancy stuff now. They got the graphic things to do. I think they make graphs with those, and then they got some type of mixer if you're on. I drink beer myself, but whatever, you don't need to worry about any of that stuff. There's so many adjustments that you can make as a person, either in the audience or just pretending to purchase a ticket. And one of the things is, for example, let's deal particularly with volume. Now, instead of getting involved with the volume control, which I believe adjusts the intensity or the level or the gain or the loss, or I don't even have anything in the market at this point, but what you can do is, this is a very easy way of adjusting the volume. If it's something you really like, that's perfect. If it's something you don't care for quite as much, this is not a bad way to go. And if it's any type of Scottish music, I would go with that particular approach. And the other way you can go with it as well, if you don't like to get near the speakers, or there's been some type of restraining order preventing you from getting near any of the equipment, you can actually adjust the volume several other ways. For example, that always works. Over to you, Ben.
Well, thanks, Fred. There you have it. The man who wrote the book on how to do everything. Scottish music, just turn it around, no problem. We'll be back with more useful tips next Tuesday, and we'll actually give you some physics behind speaker placement and better sound. We've saved the t-shirt of the week for last, though. Here we have, this would be an imaginary number I. 2 cubed is 8. This is the symbol for sum and the symbol for pi. So it's I ate some pie, and it was delicious. Thanks. Have a great Tuesday.
So there's our expert in speaker placement. That's right. Incredible stuff. So if you have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, put those in the comments area down below the video here on YouTube if you're there. Otherwise, if you're on the Facebook page, you can go there and you can give us some comments and feedback on it. Wherever it works for you, share information. If you are online, you can go to Twitter and do the hashtag NLFXBen. Send Ben a question for an upcoming episode. Hashtag @ whatever works for you. Go to Twitter, you can get a hold of Ben. We'll answer those questions as we go through. But that's it for tonight. This was our Tuesday night with Ben Stowe. Well, kind of with Ben Stowe. We'll get him live here on an upcoming episode. And then it's summertime, and we'll be so busy that we'll just have to, get a little postcard of him right here. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV. Good night.